Of all the locations present in the original Pokémon Red and Blue, probably none is more iconic than that of Lavender Town. And at first glance, that might seem a little odd. This town is relatively small compared to some of the other towns of the Kanto region. It also boasts no gym leader whatsoever. But the more you look at it, the more it becomes apparent that there are some unique things about Lavender Town that make it more memorable compared to some of the other locations. And today, for this very special Halloween season, we're going to take a look at that. So probably the first thing that you'll notice when you get into Lavender Town is that the music is maybe a bit different than most of the other towns in the Kanto region. Whereas most of the other towns have fairly upbeat location themes, Lavender Town's theme is notably quite unsettling. In fact, this might be one of the most famous creepy songs in any video game, especially in the original iteration with the 8-bit chiptune, providing an extra special sense of dread as you enter the town. You sort of immediately come to this realization that this town isn't necessarily the happiest place in the world. But it's not just the music that creates that unsettling feel. Another aspect of Lavender Town that makes it quite memorable is the fact that it is tonally dissonant from the rest of the game. Like the music, the story of this location is not one that fits with the rest of the narrative. I mean, Red and Blue has very little, if any, story to begin with, but overall the story is focused mostly on just making friends and being the best trainer in the world. And Lavender Town, instead, puts a really heavy emphasis on death, which is a very strange theme to include in a children's game, until you realize that a huge aspect of Pokemon is the collecting aspect. These Pokemon are essentially like pets, and children lose pets all the time. I mean, the idea that we gave little Timmy a goldfish and it ends up dead within a week is a pretty common trope in America, so it kind of makes sense that this might be a theme that could be explored. On top of that, death is just a theme that is very compelling because it's something we all face. The Reaper is one of two entities that we are guaranteed to meet in our lives. The other, of course, being the IRS. And to further compound on all this, the gameplay aspect of Lavender Town is also something that's memorable due to the fact that it's different and not seen anywhere else in the game, or in fact, anywhere else in the series. So in the original games, when you first explore the Pokemon Tower, all of the encounters appear as ghosts. This is a bit of a unique Pokemon, quote unquote. When a ghost is encountered, there are basically no options for the player other than to run. Attempting to fight causes the player's Pokemon to tremble in fear and not attack. And attempting to catch the ghost causes them to dodge the Pokeball, making the item wasted. It's something that turns the entire concept on its head, and you start to question, how do I beat these? I can't do anything. And in fact, as you get towards the top, there's a ghost that you have to fight. You cannot get to the next floor until you've defeated it. So it sticks in your mind while encouraging you to maybe continue to explore the world and eventually stumble into the Sylph Scope, which allows you to unmask who these ghosts are and, in this case, catch them, with the exception of that last boss. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, due to having somewhat different mechanics, alter how the ghosts behave. In this case, making contact with a ghost sends you back to the first floor. However, it still serves a similar purpose, in creating a different type of gameplay from the rest of the game. In the game's dialogue, if you talk to some of the NPCs outside in Lavender Town, one of them mentions that there was a Pokemon killed by Team Rocket. That is this Marowak that you fight at the end. It's a bit more subtle in the original games and their Gen 3 remakes. Let's Go, however, adds something to this that ends up enhancing the moment a lot. This moment has changed where you are able to pass once you reunite a baby Cubone with its now deceased mother, in a somewhat emotional scene to watch, and it's something that helps take an already memorable location and make it that much more interesting to look at. And while this might be one of my shorter videos, it's a fairly interesting topic to explore. What exactly makes a place like Lavender Town such a unique location. And all of those reasons are part of why this location has a lasting cultural legacy, why there are so many online creepypastas that dedicate themselves to this one location in this one video game. And with that, I'm going to leave you guys here. Happy Halloween.